Let me introduce our speaker. So today is Andy Toteff. We're going to be talking about how to make an award-winning digital impression of you and your listings. Andy is the owner of NextDoor Photos, Southeast Michigan, and has a business administration degree from Spring Arbor University. In his free time, he loves spending time with his friends and family, enjoying the outdoors. Let's give Andy a warm welcome.
Cool. Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name's Andy, owner of NextDoor Photos. This is not going to be an hour pitch about NextDoor Photos. I know that we've got lots of good vendors, a lot of good photographers out there. So in no shape or form, please take this as a, hey, you must use this company, because I know lots of companies in Southeast Michigan, even across the greater state of Michigan. I'm from the Traverse City area. And so just let this be a information session for you to take home, hopefully apply it to your business, and hopefully grow your business. So let's get started. Okay, the stats of just being okay. This is a term that we're going to kind of use throughout the course here. Just being okay or just average. I want you guys to know what average looks like across the state of Michigan, okay? A lot of these stats are also across the country, but the average realtor makes between $35,000 and $43,000 per year. My dad is actually a real estate agent up in the Traverse City area. Unfortunately, not for Real Estate One, but people that enter the market, he always tells them, hey, you know what the average realtor makes? $35,000. And that kind of opens their eyes a little bit like, whoa, I thought real estate agents drove Ferraris and had helicopters and stuff like that. The rule of thumb here that my dad tries to project onto new agents is don't be average, okay? So that's what we're gonna be here today to encourage you guys. Experience doesn't always fix the problem either. Even people under 2 years experience are making an average of $10,000 per year. It's not a livable wage. A lot of people drop out. You guys know the stats on small businesses. The same goes for realtors. By year 5, 60% of the agents are still under the average income. Whether they're not hustling hard enough, they're doing realty as an average or a side income on top of door dashing or something like that. They're just not going all in to being a realtor. On top of that, the scariest stat, in my opinion, is experienced agents, meaning agents that have been in the industry for over 16 years. 37% of them are still below that average mark, okay? So why are we here today? What my goal today is to make sure that none of you guys are average and that we raise our game and raise our level. Quick introduction. Thank you for the introduction earlier. But here's a picture of my family. We actually have one on the way. We're 34 weeks as of yesterday, so we've got a baby coming in the next 4 to 5 weeks, which is exciting. Another baby girl. I did go to Spring Arbor University, located just outside of Jackson County, and I played soccer there. So the reason why I think that's important is because I just love people. I love leading teams. I was voted team captain there, and I'm here to just help you guys succeed as well. Real estate runs in my family. I already mentioned that my dad is a realtor up north. Am I speaking too loud? Am I cranked up? Okay. But I've got aunts and uncles. I've got an aunt that's in the Ann Arbor area as well that does real estate. But I wanted to take a different path, okay? I watched the hours and the contracts and all the crazy stuff that all of you guys do, and I did not want that. I was like, I am not smart enough for this, but I want to still help find ways to serve the agent and serve homeowners. So I became a local owner at NextDoor Photos. NextDoor Photos is a real estate media company, just like a lot of the ones out there. Again, this is not a pitch for you guys, but NDP is quietly the largest real estate company in the country. And our team in Southeast Michigan is actually the largest revenue and team member base in the entire company as well. All that to say is that we've been around for a while, we've got an awesome team, and we're here to help answer any questions that you have, even if you have your own preferred photographer or company. Here, a lot of you guys have probably seen this video, but this is one of those just okay things. So let's go ahead and watch this real quick.
Have you ever worked with Dr. Francis? Oh yeah, he's okay.
Just okay?
Guess who just got reinstated? Well, not officially. Nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. I'll see you in there.
Just okay is not okay, especially when it comes to your network. AT&T is America's best wireless network according to America's biggest test. Now with 5G evolution, the first step to 5G. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Yeah, that one cracks me up because obviously when you're going into surgery or some life-threatening thing, you don't want someone to be okay. But I would ask the same thing about you guys. A home or real estate in any shape or form can be the largest financial asset that a family has, right? So when you guys are out there representing them, buying, selling, whatever the case may be, I want to challenge you guys to not just be average. Not just because of your income, but because of the people that you guys are representing, and kind of raise the level, okay? So the next couple of 50 minutes or so, I'll try to have some very straightforward thoughts because I want to be here to help you. I want to help you grow your business, make more money, but also have the impact, okay? The impact piece will definitely be a constant theme as we go. So my goal today, why am I here? To help you guys make more money and to grow your business. Again, the impact piece. What are we going to do to do that? We're going to showcase how you can represent your client, Real Estate One, and you with professional quality and professionalism. And then how? We're going to help raise the standard of showcase you and your listings and your brand. So there'll be a couple of different segments on that, which we'll go through in a second. But essentially, we're here to raise the bar. Okay, I want everybody here. You guys are all here for a reason, right? I heard that the other rooms were packed and you're here because of overflow. Well, I'm glad that you're here, okay? Because somebody in this room needs to hear this. And if it's only one person, then that makes my day. But what I would love to see is everybody take at least one thing in the next 45 minutes and apply it to your business, okay? So let's look at some key points that we were covering today. How visual media affects your business, how it's affecting your business now, how it's going to affect your business, how other people are using it that's affecting your business. Second part is what products or services are available on the market. What are you using now? I mean, technology is changing at a stupid rate right now. So things are coming on the market all the time. You know, what's the newest, what's the greatest, what makes sense, what's a complete waste of time. We'll go over a brief properly preparing your listing area. This will have a lot to do with how much time do you have? Do you have 3 months before you list? Do you have to list it this afternoon because they just accepted an offer on another house the next day? And then lastly, I think probably the most important part and probably the most interesting for you guys is going to be building your brand and building your business. Okay, why is it important? Well, you want to win the listing, right? That's how you guys grow your business. Win listings, it gives you credibility and professionalism. More views, both online and showings. We'll go through some stats, but obviously if you were taking a cell phone picture that's in the dark versus, you know, a professional image, even if it's something that you guys take and edit yourselves, you're going to get more views on it. You want to sell the listing for more money and for your client, right? If you've got a portfolio and a bunch of clients that you've got in your back pocket that said, yeah, not even when the market was hot, but when it's slow, I'm still getting more money from my offers because of the way that my agent marketed the house. Sell the listing faster, right? Sell the listing faster, you've got more time to move on to the next listing, and then also just builds your portfolio of listings. You can sit down in a listing presentation when you're competing with 2 or 3 other agents. You can say, hey, here's what we do, here's the marketing plan, here's my results because of it, and you're gonna win more listings. Okay, here's some scary stats here. A lot of you guys have seen these. I looked up a bunch of stats preparing for this, from NAR to Matterport to other professional photography companies to Wall Street Journal. So these stats are all over the place. I'm one that actually doesn't like stats, but I took almost an average of what I was reading. A lot of this is from NAR, but just so you guys get a feeling for it, 72% of agents say that using professional media helps them win the next listing. Yet 50% of them don't use it consistently. Maybe it's a $1 million house. You're like, hey, I'll do professional photos. But you guys don't do the same thing for another one. That is a huge opportunity to win more listings in my eyes, if I was a real estate agent. Your target, 97% of buyers start their search online, on their phone, on their tablet, on their computer. The 3% that don't are all over the age of 65. Okay? I think it's a percentage of a percentage for younger people that are not starting online. And then this kind of snowballs down. If you do listings target your views, properties that feature a high dynamic range, that's just an editing term. Even if you have a decent photo or a good photo that shows brightness, you're still going to get a ton more views, which then results into 2 times more showings as well. More people get to see the house in person, the more of a chance you have of selling it. And of course, the last part is selling faster. Listings with high quality photos or other things, I would argue, drone, videos, floor plans, sell 40% quicker with amateur photos. Now, days on market is all over the place, but just some quick math of 42%, that's essentially your listing selling in 30 days compared to 70 days. Imagine how much more time you would have if you could sell a home in 30 days every single time rather than 72. Beat out the average. Okay, so let's talk about you for a minute. You guys are my hero in this journey. I want to help you guys win. I want to be the guide. Later on, we're going to talk about reversing that. You guys being the guide to who? Your seller. They're going to be the hero in their story. But let's talk about what you guys can get out of this. This is pretty interesting info. Average commission, $4,200 for someone that never uses professional photography. Someone that sometimes uses professional photography, $5,900. And then for someone that always uses professional photography on a regular basis, probably is growing their business, probably is getting the higher listings, right? That's where the stats kind of get swayed, is over double of what somebody does without using professional media. Again, another huge opportunity here is that 35%-ish. I saw stats that it's like 40%, 29%. That 35% use professional media, in my opinion, again, shows a huge opportunity for all of you guys. If only 35% is using it, imagine the opportunity for you to go in and pitch listings against other agents that aren't using it. Pareto's rule, the 80-20 rule, right? 20% of the business is done by, 80% of the business is done by 20% of the agents. That rule is everywhere. We know that the market is shifting and that a ton of agents came on the scene. Whether you're a new agent here today, less than a year or two, or you're an experienced agent, the bottom fifth of agents are going to have a hard time surviving in the next year or two, right? That's no secret. One of the best ways to do that is to market yourself, get on camera, whether it's a selfie video, social media, using professional media. Winning more listings is going to keep you in the game longer, and that's what I want for everybody at Real Estate One. Drones, we'll talk more about those stats later, but then videos, I just mentioned the selfie video thing. Just any kind of content, right? We're talking about professional media for the most part, but a lot of you guys can do great things with today's technology. Your phones, your computers, podcasts, filming yourself. Just get out there and push yourself because the views don't lie, right? I didn't just say, oh, I'm going to make up 400%. No, that's a real number that young people, right? Millennials is the largest generation out there right now purchasing houses. I'm a millennial, though I'm on the old side, so I'm kind of a bad millennial. But a lot of people are out there still shopping through digital methods. Okay? So why is it important to have a brand? This is a recent study just done last year. According to a 2022 study, that 30% of sellers found their agent online compared to only 15% pre-COVID. So that number has doubled in the last 3 years. Whether people don't want to go out and have people in their house and do interviews, whatever the case may be, that's where they're finding people. On the flip side, right, referrals is a very important part of the real estate business. You do really good work for somebody, they're going to refer you. 26% of sellers found their listing agent through a referral. That's down 10%. That was 36% back in 2019. So you still want to have referrals, obviously, but I just want to show you guys the importance of being online and having a digital voice, okay? Common misconceptions about listing media. These are some good ones. I've got a great story for, that was a Real Estate One agent. Market's so hot that I can take photos with myself and sell any listing. This was actually an agent out of the Jackson market that was just like, hey, I can take a picture and sell anything. The market's so hot the last couple of years, I'm just not going to do it. Well, she left using a photographer, not NextDoor Photos, another company, and her business has just tanked. Her reputation around the Jackson area, hopefully none of you guys are from Jackson, but it's a very short-sighted strategy, right? Cell phone pictures aren't going to help anyone win more listings. You're not going to go somewhere where agents know, or not agents, homeowners know, hey, we're getting 20, 30, 40 grand over listing price. That's fantastic. And then you've got your agent over here with a cell phone trying to take pictures of it, right? Oh yeah, this thing will sell, no problem. I don't use professional photos for listings under X amount, okay? Tom Long's office, the Southgate office, had an agent there, and she was listing a house in Metro Detroit that was an investment property, and it was selling for like $35,000. Very, very little commission there. She still hired a professional photographer to come out and take care of them as if it was $1 million listing. Household, she gets, a small commission check. That investor that listed that house with her had a portfolio of over 100 houses. So she took care of what she thought was a little guy, come to find out it was a big fish. Okay? True story out of Real Estate One. Okay, these are just some of the things we're going to go over. I'm not going to go through these all over the slide, but these are all products that if you're not doing, these are options. Okay? If you guys are already doing multiple streams of media, whether it be photos, the selfie videos, professional videos, 3D tours, whatever the case may be, this is covering just about everything as far as ideas go, plus more. There's more coming on the market every day. There's more ideas. And it's not just a one-size-fits-all, right? You're not like, oh, here's a floor plan that's black and white. There's lots of ways. There's 2D floor plans. People can put furniture in them now. We color code ours based on water areas and outdoor areas. Videos. You see the listing videos, neighborhood videos. I'll bet you there's 100 different ways to shoot videos. Agent on camera. You guys remember the TV show Cribs on MTV back in the day? Maybe that's a millennial thing. I don't know. But basically, a famous rapper, NBA player sits out front and says, hey, welcome to my crib. This is my 5,000 square foot mansion in Miami South Beach. And then he walks through it. Agents are doing that. Agents are doing that. It was a popular thing. In my opinion, those videos last 4, 5, 6 minutes. And I think things are going more towards the under 60-second social media reels, which we'll get to in a little bit. How to prepare a home for professional media. We've got some pictures coming up later that I'll show you that's pretty funny, but we actually have a 50-point checklist. It says 30, and I would encourage you guys, when it comes up on the screen, there's a QR code. You can scan that. I would encourage you to create your own if you don't want to use NextDoor Photos or another real estate photography company. Make your own. Sit down, brand it, put your face on it. Say, hey, Mr. Real Estate or Mr. Seller, this is what we need to do in order to prepare for your home. Even if they only hit half of the checklist, it's going to showcase a lot better than most. And then long term, does the house need paint? Does it need lighting? Does it need furniture, moved? Does it need to be uncluttered to, make sure it doesn't look like a pack rat house? You guys all know that stuff, but this is not all new stuff, I'm sure, to you guys. It's just the fact of you guys applying it. Okay, so what can we do to achieve this? I would just say start doing anything. Okay, use professional photos if you're not. If you are, try a floor plan, try the video. If you don't like yourself being on video, you don't like talking in front of the camera, do a video without you and maybe have someone else do a voiceover for you. Or if you're okay doing the voiceover and not on camera, try that. Prep the home to showcase it in its best light, long-term versus short-term, which we'll cover, and then use the visual media to your advantage. Okay, most MLSs are allowing photographers to upload for them. So let the photographer, whether it's a one-off that just does it on the side or a professional company, let them help you save time. This is all about saving time, getting listings to sell faster. Don't waste your time downloading it, looking at it, renaming them, uploading. If your photographer or your vendor is not taking care of that for you, then you need to talk to them about it, because I'm sure they can. Here's some tough questions. I want you guys to honestly think about this for a little bit, okay? If a potential client looked at your listings right now, let's say your previous 10 listings, 12 listings, even if that goes back a couple of years, what would a potential client think about those listings as an impression to you? How are you marketing them? How are you using them? If a seller was to choose between an agent who uses professional photos and one that is just okay or average, who do you think they might choose? More list of products. This at least gives you a couple of photo examples too. Nothing too crazy here. The drone stuff is nothing new. The videos, again, there's 100 different ways to do video. Just because you use a certain company or a certain photographer and your next agent down the hallway uses the same person, you can differentiate those videos way beyond than what your listing looks like. And we'll show a couple of examples of those. 3D tours, one thing I do want to talk about on the screen before we go is since 2020, there's been this buzzword virtual tour, right? Everyone's like, oh, I need a virtual tour. Well, a virtual tour can mean 15 different things to 15 different people, okay? So it's going to be important to know either if a client's looking for it, okay, Mr. Client, what are you looking for a virtual tour? Because if they say virtual tour and you just assume, hey, they need a virtual tour, and so they mark you up with a $250 Matterport scan, and all they were looking for was a picture of slideshows going across that could have been made for $1, make sure you get the right information. In my opinion, virtual tours can be anything from a slideshow of pictures, a floor plan that's interactive, videos, and then we've got our 360 tours, like Matterport, like the Zillow 3D home tours, and there's a lot of hybrids that mix the two together. Okay, this is gonna be kind of fun. So if you're falling asleep, pay attention to these. This is a good one. If you've seen any photo like this on the MLS ever in the history in the last 40 years, just do a quick raise of your hand, okay? The cell phone in the mirror. Anybody seen a photo of this? Has anybody done this? Okay, good. The forgot to pay the electric bill. Yeah. When I was first learning photography, I was like, man, how do I get a clear window pull? So I'll click on the window, then everything else goes dark. The pet photo bomb. Come on, everyone's seen the photo bomb. Usually it's a cat. I think this one was actually focused on the Rottweiler. Photographer in the mirror, okay? This is a bummer, but she did do a few good things, okay? She does have a professional DSLR camera and the toilet seat's down. And the toilet seat's down, so give her some credit. Yeah, give her some credit. Just tilt your head, okay? Looks like a beautiful house. Anybody seen this before? Right, gets uploaded, it's sideways, that's unfortunate. The sinking house, okay? This one literally looks like it's sinking. Most DSLR cameras have a level on there. Worst case scenario, you take a picture like this, and at least in post-editing, you can straighten it up, right? That's just a little bit of carelessness. How about the TV on, right? Hey, I'm still watching that. Now, sometimes there's photo companies that will superimpose, the picture of MGM in the mountain or the lion on there. That's completely great, right? But the fact that somebody will take a picture, and I mean, that's not a very flattering image for anybody. How about hide and seek in the mirror? I mean, gotta give them credit. They're trying. This is my favorite. Yeah. And probably the most realistic, right? A beautiful kitchen and tons of stuff on the floor or on the countertops. This is something that, you take two different pictures an hour from each other and you just take your arm and clear off that countertop, it's gonna look completely different. Sinking house part 2, probably the same house. It's just sinking to the side. Yep. The nearsighted photographer. Yep. If I didn't have my glasses on, this is what you guys would all look to me right now. But again, just carelessness, putting the photo on the MLS without checking that. And maybe they did check it and they just didn't care. How about virtual staging? Anybody try this at home? It's virtual staging has come a long ways in the last couple of years. When we first started doing virtual staging 5 or 6 years ago, it wasn't pretty. But now, I mean, you can hardly tell that it's fake. You walk into an empty room on a showing, you're like, wow, there was just furniture here yesterday. No, digitally staged. Okay, so if a picture says 1,000 words, what are these pictures that we looked at says about the agent that published them? Not very professional is probably one of the first things that comes to mind. Maybe they are, but they just lack attention to detail. Or maybe they pay close attention to detail, but they're careless. Small actions could have fixed a lot of those photos. Or they're just flat out not good at marketing properties. Maybe they missed that part in their training, their brokerage. Based on those images, would you trust any of those agents to sell your home? Okay, if anyone was at fault of this, let this be a wake-up call, even if it was many, many years ago, to make sure that you raise your game. Before and after edits. So a lot of people are investing in good cameras, right? There's iPhones are even getting to some really good quality. But this was a photo that I actually shot many years ago, post and pre-editing, right? So wide angle lens, if you guys take a quick look at it, you can see the angles of the house is slanted because of the wide angle lens. A lot of people say, oh, that fisheye look because of the wide angle lens. A lot of that can be fixed in editing, but the important part is to capture as much as you can because of the wide angle lens. The other thing is just the colors that pop. And then we took out that Michigan January sky for a Florida sky as well. So if you're waiting for sunny skies to take listing photos, I mean, good luck listing in January and February, right? Even though we were blessed last week with 3 days of sun, just fantastic. Twilight conversions. This has been pretty popular. A lot can get out of control and look super exotic. I chose an exotic one on purpose just to kind of show you guys the flexibility of it. But again, this is something that you can show like, hey, the front photo is going to look like this on your home. A lot of times people use this for parting gifts or for closing gifts, right? I've got a sister that sold a house over in Grand Rapids, and the realtor got her a nice canvas of their first home in a twilight, which is pretty sweet. And this is shot in the middle of the day. A lot of times we say, oh, let's do a twilight shoot. Well, that's pretty expensive to get a photographer back out there. They're probably going to be there for 45 minutes or so. And you're hoping and praying for a good sunset. You're hoping for the sky to turn color, and you get all the lights on, and then all of a sudden it just doesn't work out. It's a lot easier to do it this way. But don't get me wrong, there are some houses that warrant live twilights that will absolutely look stunning. But just so you know, this is an option. And a ton of companies around here do that, a ton. I mean, NextDoor Photos is just one of a dozen that do this, so it's not hard to find. Video, we talked about this earlier too. The flexibility of it, the creativity. This is where you can really get your personality on the camera. And if you hate being on camera because you don't like the way you look, you don't like the way that you sound, you can still create videos in a manner that has, you know, a voiceover, a logo, transitions, whatever the case may be, to really put your stamp on it. And then neighborhood spotlights and social media reels, which we're about to see a couple of examples of that. But neighborhood spotlights is really cool. There's a great big agent in the Ann Arbor area that works with us that will do neighborhood reels. He's out of the Briarwood real estate one. And he'll talk about Dexter, Michigan. And he'll talk about Chelsea, Michigan. He'll do all these things. And they're not even the listings of houses. They're just on his YouTube channel. They're just on his social media. They sit down for... with listing presentations, they say, hey, you're going to list a house in Dexter. Not only are we going to take a video of your house in Dexter, but we're going to pair it with the neighborhood, pair it with the downtown feel. Okay, these next two videos are social media reels. They're sub 60 seconds, and they do a really good job of showcasing the house, but very subtly just putting their name on it, putting their face on it. They're on camera. Take it as you will. They don't say any words. So those of you guys that just want a little bit of creativity, these are going to be a good example. See, that wasn't so bad, was it? No stage fright. Does anyone else could see themselves doing that? Anybody? Yes? That's a very non-invasive, non-in-your-face, still about the home. We've done a couple of shoots with, you know, the agent kind of moving along that, not saying anything, but sitting at a bar in a basement, right, pouring a drink, and opening the dishwasher. A little bit less staged than what that was, but here's another good example, very similar format, just another way to brand yourself. Got her picture on there, right? At least that way, again, it's not her on camera, her talking, but she's able to put her name on there, her photo, brand it that way.
Call a video walkthrough in terms of the service you provide, or?
Yeah, so we'll answer those questions at the end. Okay. It's got to be constant moving, but at the end of this, I'll answer any questions we've got, okay? I know there's a couple of questions that came through on the app too. I couldn't figure out how to answer them, so if you were one of those, please ask in front of everybody at the end. Okay, let's talk about other virtual tours outside of videos and floor plans and whatever. Matterport, Zillow, and other tours. This is like one extreme to the other extreme. Matterport tours are probably going to be your highest resolution, your highest cost, your most easy to view probably. But Matterport is quickly changing the rules as they go. So their hosting fees are getting more expensive, their capturing is getting more expensive. But by all means, if you walk into a beautiful home and you've got a seller that says, I need a virtual tour and it needs to be the high-end way to go, Matterport is going to be it. If you need a similar tour on the very cheap version, but maybe it'll bump up your listing on Zillow, the Zillow 3D Home Tour. The difference between the two is Zillow is captured just with a 360 camera, and that's all it is. It doesn't connect the dots. I realize that there's arrows on there. Don't let that fool you. Those scans and those pictures are not connected. That's the Zillow platform trying to tell you, you know, AI, where's the bathroom, where's the kitchen, click here to go to the next one. The Matterport is a true 3D version of it that's built out wall-to-wall and connectability, where you actually click through and walk, you know, basically throughout the entire house. Floor plans, another popular version of a virtual tour is having hotspots on the floor plan. So you click on you hover over top of it, and it shows you the photo from where it was. Also not a bad option, but just another thing that you want to make sure you know from your seller what they're talking about. Floor plans are becoming more and more popular and more of a demand as measurements are getting higher demand. My thing turned off? It's still on, right? Okay. Price per square foot, what size are the rooms, what's the total square footage, all of that. It's going to be important to know those types of things, whether it's for appraisals or inspections. And the technology in which they are capturing this is, again, skyrocketing. Okay, just over the last 7 years that I've been a part of this, the way that we're capturing it now is unbelievable. I can't imagine what's going to happen in the next couple of years, but it's awesome. And it gives the buyers an opportunity to see the layout of the house. Drones, a couple things about drones. They are obviously super popular. A lot of crazy weird things are going on in our skies right now. The FAA is shutting down airspace left and right, and you know, and that was before the last week or two. But essentially, FAA certification is required for anyone to fly a drone. So if you use a drone photographer, just make sure that they are FAA certified. If you own a drone, okay, you go out and spend the $500 to $1,000, by all means, go for it. I was just on a meeting yesterday with a real estate agent talking about flying drones. If you're doing it as a hobbyist, the rules don't apply to you for whatever crazy reason. Of course, the FAA changes rules every month, so that could be changed as of today. But as far as doing it for money, you have to be certified and insured. So for heaven forbid, that drone you're flying is going across and you crash into the side of the house and the house burns down to the ground, make sure that you've got a plan. Someone's insured, the company's insured, whatever the case may be. But also the same editing power too. So again, cloudy sky to sunny sky, brighten the colors, all done in post-editing. Virtual staging. So we saw an awesome virtual staging photo earlier. This one's a little bit more realistic, with the exception of that refrigerator. If anyone can see that over there, it's sticking out in the wall right outside the window and you can't see it. So obviously a refrigerator probably wouldn't go like that, but the rest of it is really awesome. Most companies, even if you take your own photos, there's a company called Box Brownie, okay? I am promoting a competitor, but they do a great job, and there's catalogs too. You can go onto our website, onto Box Brownie, onto whoever, and there's catalogs. You can actually pick out the furniture, right? So that way you're not shooting a home downtown Ann Arbor or Detroit or Oakland County, and they put like cowboy, you know, skulls on the wall or something like that. So very cool, the virtual staging power of it. Other bonuses is the hosting thing. Most of the hosting is typically on the photographer responsibility and not yours, and then uploading to the MLS. So RealComp, MyRealSource, Lansing even, though they're tough to work with sometimes, they are all allowing photographers to get to the point where they're uploading for you. So that way you start creating your listing, you get to the photos part, so send an invite to my photographer or any email you want. It can be your cousin, brother, sister, whatever, and then they can upload photos directly on there for you. And then you're able to remove them, edit them, slide them around before the listing goes live. How to prepare a home for pro media, or your own media too. So we're back to the awesome kitchen here. Again, how much time do you have? 3 months, 4 months? I'm sure a lot of you guys are like, hey, if you're really trying to get top dollar for your house in May or June, rip out this wall, add a window, do paint. That's all your guys' expertise, not mine. But if they put an offer on the house yesterday and it accepted today, and they need to sell theirs by the weekend, that's when we come in. And we've got our checklist that says, hey, let's do less is more, brighter is better, make sure all the light bulbs are working, make sure all the light bulbs are the same wattage and matching and everything like that. But just remember, less is more, okay? Here's our checklist. If you guys have your phones and you guys want this, go ahead and scan it and save it. What I would encourage you guys to do if you guys wanted to brand it and use it your own is put your name on there. Put your logo on there. Put the Real Estate One stuff on there. That way you can sit down and it's got a professional setup just for you. I can almost guarantee real estate agents aren't doing this in listing presentations. Is anybody doing that right now? Is anybody? Okay, I've got a hand. If not, this is a great way to showcase that you're for real. And again, if they only do half of this stuff, you're going to be head and shoulders above and being prepared for photos. Cool, everybody good? If not, see me afterwards. I'll get you one. Other ideas for media. Photo sizes, a lot of times that you get, depending on how your photographer delivers media to you, changing photo sizes. There's an MLS size, there's a print size, there's a size that you need to be able to, put on a book or a canvas or whatever the case may be. Social media, obviously there's new social media platforms coming out all the time, it seems like. But TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, I don't suggest you do all of them, but maybe you find one or you find two and you know what your demographic is and you know what your niche is, attack that. Okay, how are we doing on time? Anybody can tell me the time? 1:38, okay, awesome. So we're gonna talk about branding a little bit and your brand, okay? So obviously when we talk about branding, you guys think about, the big companies, the big hitters. That Nike swoosh has been around and iconic for a long time. Starbucks, Chevy, Apple, has everything to do with color, simplicity. Let's talk about how we can do that for real estate, okay? So branding should do 6 things. And sometimes it's hard to think, oh, I'm just a one-person agent, I'm just a little team. Why do I need the brand? Why do I need to think about this? Well, if we're here to be better than average, if we're here to be better than just okay, even your little brand and even your little one-man or two-man team, woman team, needs to have some type of identity, even if it's only for you and it's not for your clients, okay? So it should tell your story. We were talking about the guide and the hero and tell your story. You are the hero in your story, but just remember that your client is going to be the hero in their story, and you want to be there to be the guide. Communicate why. What's your mission? What's your values? Why do you do that? Do you do it just to make money? Or do you do it because you want to help the housing industry? You want to help that person, you want to help individuals, whatever your niche is. Contain clear messaging. Position yourself as the guide, like we talked about earlier. Have a one-liner that captures attention, right? So it's in sales, it's sometimes difficult to find your target, but when you do, you need to do it quickly. Everybody remember back in the day when you guys had to write essays in high school, it said, has to be 450 words and you have to have 6 pages and that was like the minimum. And now it's like, hey, tell me what I need to know in 10 seconds or I'm gone, right? Have that one-liner. Say, hey, I help people buy and sell houses because of X, Y, Z. Or you might not even say buy and sell houses. You might say, hey, I help people fill in the blank. Bring visual elements together, photos, logos, colors. Again, this might not seem like a big deal. You might not have a brand, you might not have a logo, but I'm telling you, if nothing more, psychology in your head to be focused, to be detailed, to feel like you're being professional enough to go out and grow your business like all of you can, go through the motions or go through the events and the motions to be able to do that. And then align your voice and your style of communication. And I don't mean voice as in, again, I don't want people to get scared of thinking they have to sit in front of a phone and do selfie videos. That doesn't necessarily have to be your voice. Your voice can be in the articles that you share, in the wordings that you write, in the things that you post online or the things that you email out. That is your voice. It doesn't have to be your actual voice that's coming through a microphone. So number 1, tell your story. Story is the most powerful tools to captivate the human brain. If anybody pays attention to Donald Miller and the Story brand, he does a great job of explaining this. I'll actually show you guys kind of a map out in what she does. But a story makes it easier for it makes it easy to understand how you can help your clients. Sometimes it's difficult, like, why is this real estate agent here? They're just trying to make a percentage on the sale of my house. I don't need a real estate agent. I'm just going to do for sale by owner or some markdown. Make sure that they know the value. Make sure that you know how you can help them and why it's important. And then you need to be invited into their story. Get to know them. okay? Take your brand and say, hey, I'm here to help single mothers. Hey, I'm here to help, people that are relocating, and this is why. Communicate your why, mission, and values. People don't connect with what you do, they connect with why you do it. Why did you get into the business? Again, why are you guys doing it? You guys getting into real estate just because you get rich? We all know that the average realtor is not rich, right? So why did you do it? You get enough people to get what they want, you'll end up getting what you want. What kind of mission are you on? What's your goals? And then what is important to you? Clear messaging. The client is the hero, right? It could be a death in the family. It could be a divorce situation. All not great things to walk into. As a photographer, I walked into a couple of different houses, and I'm a people person. I love talking. I would give all you guys a hug right now if I could, but I tend to open my mouth just way too much, just wanting to get to know people. I can't tell you how many houses I've walked into, somebody died like 2 weeks ago, right? Or a divorced couple, and it's a tense situation. I'm just like, okay, I'll put my foot in my mouth and I'll just take pictures and get out of here. Your client is the hero in the story, so enter as the guide. That's what we talked about. Hey, I'm divorced. I try to connect with them that way. Hey, I'm so sorry that I just brought that up, but congrats, I'm divorced too. I can help you out here. And a guide should always offer two things, empathy and authority, okay? You guys have been there. You've worked with people that have been there. You know people that have died, and you've helped with real estate or with estate sales. And because of that, you have authority because you've done it. You've experienced it. You can relate to them, and you can help them through it. Story brand image. So let's just put this, I've got a printout too that I can hand out to you guys tomorrow if you guys stop by the booth. But essentially, this is the story brand that Donald Miller maps out. And I want you guys to think about this. This is what every single movie is based off of, right? You can do the Tom Cruise movies, you can do Star Wars, you can do The Notebook. But in every story, character faces a problem, meets a guide, and so on. I want you guys to think about this from your shoes, okay? From your shoes and your seller's shoes or your buyer's shoes, okay? So you've got a character with a problem. They probably need to buy or sell a house. Either they have to because of death, divorce, relocation, more babies in the family, or maybe they just want to. But who's going to help them buy the house? That's where they meet the guide. And the guide has a plan. You sit down with your listing presentation, you're like, hey, we're going to do these things. This is how we're going to market it. This is where we're going to price it. This is how we're going to show it. This is how I'll negotiate multiple offers that come in. And then you've got the results. And either the results are going to result in failure because sometimes you get a homeowner that is completely crazy, or the market is not agreeing with you, or the guide is going to come in and help their hero make tons of money on their house or buy their dream house. And it was all because of you guys. All because of your help. And they'll remember that. That's where we want that referral number to go up from 26%. One liner that captures attention. Just clarity, right? If the millennials are the largest generation out there buying and selling houses, they don't have an attention span. Talk to me quickly, easily, tell me how you can help me, and we'll move on. They buy the ones that they understand the fastest, not the ones that are necessarily the best. For example, real estate company that does photography, you say, hey, I help real estate agents win more listings and publish them faster. We can be on site tomorrow, you'll have photos the next day, you'll be on the market before the weekend. Or real estate media without the wait. Most real estate photography companies can get you your media pretty quickly. I was, however, talking to a Reinhardt agent. I think she's here, not in this room, but she is here today. She used a company out of Ann Arbor, and she had to wait 5 days to get the media back. 5 days. We could all sit down right now, and I could teach you guys how to edit, and we could get it back to her in less than 5 days. So just make sure that you have that one-liner that's clear to your millennial generation, or your baby boomers, or whoever that is that you're selling to. Make sure it's quick and easy. Bring visual elements together. This might not seem like a huge deal because, again, it's like, the brand, we're not building a Nike swoosh sign or a Chevy bow tie. I'm telling you, it's important though. When you guys hand out your business cards, you guys hand out your colors. Lots of times, I don't remember that real estate agent's name, but their sign was blue and it was round. It's probably a Real Estate One agent, right? I love the Real Estate One signs. It's far different than everybody else's. Easy to remember. And this is number 5 for a reason. Visual elements are not the starting point, but they should be definitely influencing your brand. Allowing your voice. How do you speak to clients and potential clients in person? This is probably no surprise to you guys, but at networking events, your relationships with mortgage lenders, with inspectors, people at church, people at school, PTA, whatever the case may be, they're going to remember how they feel and how they're treated, more so than how much you know, okay? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Nobody likes the smartest guy in the room, right? Be there to help people. And then align your digital voice, written or audible. This is the last time I say that. I know I've said it like 10 times, but it's really important. Make sure that your voice is consistent, and it doesn't have to be your face and your voice. Articles written, texting, photos shared. Have a consistent rhythm there. If you like being on camera, then this should be right in your wheelhouse. Get out there and maybe sell your voice and sell your whatever to your fellow agents. Okay, why is it important to have a brand? Well, I would ask you, how are you as an agent? Are you just average right now? Are you average at posting, or are you average at your brand? Do you even have a brand? Do you have a team? If you don't, I think now's the time to start. There are thousands and thousands of real estate agents in Michigan. I was talking to the MLS here in Detroit, and they're saying how 3 or 4 years ago, they're just hoping that they could hit 14,000 agents on their MLS. When I talked to them last fall, they're at 18,000, 4,000 beyond. 33,000 total in Michigan? Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, or not awesome, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, so the MLS in Detroit went up like that, 33,000 in the state of Michigan. Crazy, crazy. So how will you differentiate yourself? How will you stand out? In my opinion, I think it's easiest to succeed because so many people are being average. So many people are aiming low. Nowadays, looking at the MLS, it looks like there's professional media everywhere. But when you go through listing by listing on the MLS, it's amazing how poorly your people are still marketing their homes. It's amazing, which just means a lot higher upside for you guys. Okay, key points covered. This is what we talked about earlier in the presentation. But how is your visual media affecting your business right now? Take 20 seconds and just think about it. What have you done this year, 2 years ago? Has it affected your business in a good way or in a bad way? What products or services are you going to add to your portfolio? If you're using professional photos, great. What's next? If you're using professional video, how are you going to change it, manipulate? How do you want to improve it? Do you want to be on camera? Do you want to add a stuffed animal in every room? So that way it's, something that's fun to look at and whatever. My dad and I were talking, how fun would it be to have like a rhyming realtor, whereas all listing descriptions was like in a rhyme and like a fairy tale. Thought that'd be a good idea. I'm not sure if anyone's doing that. If not, go for it. How are you going to help your client? How are you going to connect with those sellers? How are you going to continue to get those referrals and build that number up? And I just want you guys to make sure that you guys are building your brand and your business. What does it look like a year from now? How have you grown? The important thing is I want you guys to take action right away, okay? What you guys will hear today, whether it's from me, hopefully something that I said stirred inside of you guys, but even in these other classes that are going on, spring market is coming. We got to take action now, right? You want to grow your business now. So make a plan and do something, anything, one little thing. Write an idea, revisit on Monday, because if you guys don't do that, on Monday and Tuesday, the Real Estate One convention will all just be a blur. You guys will be right back in the thick of things. So take action now, and think about what your business looks like at the end of 2023, okay? We're almost 2 months in. We got 10 months to go. Think about, what does 2023 look like? What are your goals, and what are you celebrating next year? When Dan and Stuart call you up on stage, you're shaking your hand because you got X amount of volume. You hit so many transactions. Put that goal out there in front of you and then go chase it. Okay? Now we can follow up with any types of questions. If you guys liked anything I said, or if you guys have an office or a team, I would be honored, I'd be honored to come into your office, to your team, talk with you one-on-one, and share ideas, even if you guys aren't using us. That's not what this is about. This is just about growing your business and growing Real Estate One. So you guys have any questions, feel free to, can we ask questions now? Is that okay? Okay, yes.
Do you do the Matterport cost by square footage?
We do not. No, as long as it's under like 5,000 square foot, it's all a flat rate. Yep. Right around 200, depends if you want a floor plan with it or not. It's right around 200, give or take. And
Which is a floor plan, that was my second question.
yeah, it would be like an additional 25 to 50 bucks. Yep. So, is it,
50 if you get the Matterport.
yeah, for sure, it might be a little bit cheaper than that. It might be like 225. So, I believe that if you pair Matterport with photos, it could be 175. But be careful, if any builders or anyone that wants the Matterport tour for more than 3 months, they charge $50 to every 12 months to host it. So if you're a builder and you want it on your website or whatever the case may be, every year it's going to be a $50 upcharge. Okay? Yes?
So for those videos you showed where the agent was in the videos, I presume you guys took the video.
Yes, we did, yep.
Also follow through and add in the agent branding and everything, and give a complete package, or is that something that we would take?
Nope, so the question was, if you guys do a walkthrough video, will we put the name and the picture and all that stuff? Yes, so that's all done in editing. So if you guys provide your logo, your name, your contact information, your brokerage, we'll put all that on the video for you. And most companies will. Most companies will, yes?
Can you get the floor plan if you just get pictures taken?
Yes, yep. So the floor plan thing is changing really quickly because there's like off-site appraisals, inspections, all this stuff. I can tell you that I think that there's going to be a day soon, like in the next couple of months, that every single photo pack ordered through NextDoor Photos has a floor plan included on it. Every single one of them. There's a race, I think, out there between Zillow and Matterport that they're trying to capture floor plans on everything and anything. Okay? They're not using it for the same reason we are. We're just trying to provide it to our client. But it's going to be an offering that I think almost everybody will have and almost require at some point. Other states are doing it. I know Michigan's not. But we're going to offer it as an automatic bundle. So, any other questions? I know you had a question earlier, but it was about the video. Okay. Yeah, so video, there's 100 different ways to do videos too. So, you can be on camera, off camera, standard walkthrough videos. They can range anywhere from like $150 to $300 if you do the drone thing. The little social media videos, those can be done super quick and easy for like 50 bucks, 75 bucks. So if you want to differentiate yourself and at least add a video, it's a pretty inexpensive way to do it. Okay, any other questions? Yes, question in the back.
How much time do you have to allow for a photo shoot or video to get them out?
Yep, so it depends on the house, but I mean, a typical house will have anywhere from 25 to 35 photos, and we can be in and out of there in less than an hour. If it's a larger house and you've got some picky clients and like they're over the shoulder of the photographer, it'll take longer. Sometimes we battle with sellers because some people want things done a certain way and they think that they're going into a magazine and not onto the MLS. So it's a little battle. We're here to serve you guys at the end of the day. And if that means also serving your client, we'll be there. I know that we don't love being on site for multiple hours, but depending on how many products, if it's photos, floor plan, drone, video, yes, it's going to take 3 hours. So, okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.